Chilli in the name of.
Hello again and welcome to Season 7, Episode 6 of Chilli in the Name of. And no stranger to Chilli in the Name of is one Dino Ferri, the owner and proprietor of Hotter Than L, who was kind enough to send me a whole bunch of sauces and a new t-shirt a while back, Love Burns t-shirt. I've reviewed his stuff in a couple of episodes, even one in this season. But I think it's about time we got up close and personal with the man himself, Dino Ferri. So let's roll tape.
Getting to know you.
Now, I've actually reviewed quite a few sauces by Hotter Than L over the course of my show, including Scorpion Sting, Ghost Sauce, 24K Gold, and the notorious Love Burns, which I gave a flat 11 out of 10. The owner and proprietor of Hotter Than L is one Dino Ferri, a master sauce slinger and an all-round good guy. He holds down a day job as the CEO of Central Florida Zoo. Named after his daughter Alina, purportedly a bit of a devil as a young girl, she's the inspiration for the distinctive brand mark for Hotter Than L. With a range of no less than 10 sauces available on the website, as well as delicious and hot salsa, and some really nice merchandise, make sure you go check out his site at hotterthanl.com. The three sauces we'll be trying today by Hotter Than L are Gator Jake's Ragin Cajun, 1901 Roasted Red Ale Hot Sauce, and Reaper's Revenge. Now these sauces all look really good. They're all very red in colour, so we've gone from traffic lights in the last one to just all red. They look fantastic, and they're varying in heat from mild to quite hot, I would imagine. So without any further ado, let's get on it. The first sauce I'm going to try for you today is Gator Jake's Ragin Cajun. There it is right there. It's got an alligator on the front there. That'd be Gator Jake, I'd imagine. The alligator has lots of like pearls and gold chains. He's got a hot sauce bottle in his mouth. And he's got like a chimney coming out of the top of his head, or is that like a lamppost? I'm not too sure. There it is up close and personal. The sauce itself says that it's 1 out of 4 in heat. And like all of Dino Ferri's stuff, it says we specialize in heat and flavor, heat with flavor. In terms of ingredients, it has distilled vinegar, cayenne peppers, garlic, granulated garlic, salt, cayenne pepper, and xanthan gum. So it's a pretty straightforward cayenne sort of sauce. It says here that it was the winner of the 2018 Fiery Food Challenge, zestfest.net. Let's try it out. Alright, so in terms of consistency and colour, you can see it's quite red, like I mentioned before. It's got some chunks of red in there and some bits of what might appear to be garlic and stuff. It's a medium consistency, quite smooth. Give it a sniff. Oh, that smells good. This flow restrictor is coming off. It smells very garlicky, I love that. And pepper forward. There's vinegar in there as well. Let's try it out. That's delicious. Very garlicky, very vinegary as well, and the cayenne's just like nice and mild. It's almost like a salad dressing. It's sort of almost in that sort of range of salty and sour, but with a little kick of heat in there as well. Yeah, it's really nice. It'd probably be a really good sauce with seafood, like a Creole or Cajun sort of food, that sort of thing. I mean, that's probably why it says Ragin Cajun there on the front of the bottle. It's really got that sort of Cajun feel to it. It'd be great with, imagine this with like some prawns or some shrimp, like a shrimp cocktail. In terms of heat, I'd probably give this a 1 out of 10. In terms of flavor, yeah, like I say, go with the seafood. Maybe put it on some lettuce as well. That'd be fantastic. The second sauce I'm going to try for you today is Hotter Than L 1901 Roasted Red Ale Hot Sauce. I'm not sure what the reference to 1901 Roasted Red Hot Ale Hot Sauce that is, but it has a picture on the front of a burning building, and I'm sure it has some sort of reference to that. I'll probably have to talk to Dino about that one and find that out later on. In terms of what we've got here, it is a red hot sauce. You can see that it's a medium sort of red color, darkish red color, medium consistency, a few chunks in there. There's the label up close. In terms of heat, it has 2 and a 1.5 out of 4 chilies there. In terms of ingredients, it has distilled vinegar, fire roasted tomatoes, Duke's 1901 red ale, Granny Smith apples, carrots, habanero peppers, red curry paste, and cumin. There's a few other ingredients in there in amongst some of that stuff as well, like inside the red curry paste and stuff like that, but that's to be expected. So there it is right there. It looks really good. It sounds really good from the ingredients, so let's try it out. All right, so as you can see, it is a reasonably loose sauce. It's quite it's watery looking, or you know, thinner than the previous one. It's not as macerated as the past one either, and it seems to have little chunks and bits and pieces in there that are a reasonable size. Let's crack it open and have a smell. Well, that smells good. I smell the cumin straight off the bat. It's making my mouth water. It smells kind of quite Mexican-y, and I can smell the beer in there. Oh wow, that's delicious. That's a really good sort of taco sauce. It's a bit thinner than I would like most of my taco sauce, but it's got some little nice chunks in there and stuff. The apple comes forward, and that curry paste. It's interesting because I'm feeling Mexican, but I'm also feeling sort of Thai as well. There's a bit of sort of lime juice and other flavors in there as well. What would I have this with? Let's see. Like I say, I could have it with Mexican, but I think it's versatile enough that you could have it with anything Southeast Asian as well. You could have it with some Spanish food as well. You could have it as a dipping sauce, or you could have it as a salsa to dip some chips in. In terms of heat, I'd probably give this a 4 out of 10. In terms of flavor, it's got heaps going on with it, and I can see why this one's it's quite special actually. I think this one's going to go pretty quickly in my fridge. The third and final sauce from Hotter Than Hell I'm going to try for you today is Reaper's Revenge. There's Reaper's Revenge there, and as always, the label is really fantastic. It's got a scythe and a skeleton hand chopping into a Reaper, and it looks like it's dropping drips of onions off the end there, or garlics. Yeah, so let's look at that up close. That's the label up close there, as you can see. In terms of the consistency, it's very similar to the previous one. It's a little bit watery, but it's got nice big chunks in there. Darkish red, darkest of the three, actually. Actually, now that I think about it, I've actually gone from lightest to medium to darkest in terms of color as well. In terms of ingredients, it has diced tomatoes, distilled vinegar, carrots, onions, Reaper peppers, garlic, salt, red Thai curry powder, allspice, and cumin. Similar sort of ingredient list to the previous one, but no beer in there, and it's got some Reapers in there. So let's have a look at it. So no surprises there in terms of consistency. That's exactly what I thought it was, and it has a nice sort of chunkiness to it. So could be a bit chewy, hey? Yeah, it's the cumin and the curry paste coming forward. Doesn't smell very peppery. Let's try it out. It's got a little bit of chewiness to it. Carrots. What else is in there? Tomato. Yeah, and then some Reaper seeds as well. It's bringing up a little bit of a sweat because it's quite a bit hotter than the other two. The spices are really forward on this one. The allspice, the cumin, the Thai curry powder, the garlic. It's pretty complex sort of set of flavors there. And again, it sort of eats a bit like a salsa. What would I have this with? It's hard to say. It's got a bit of an Asian sort of feel to it, and it's a fair bit hotter than the other two. So you probably wouldn't slather it on like you would with maybe one of those two there. But at the same time, great flavor profile, good saltiness. It's very makes my mouth water. It's that sort of salty, vinegary Good mixture of spices, salt, and vinegar. In terms of heat, I'd probably give this a 6 out of 10. In terms of what I would eat this with, this is going on my tacos. There's just no way about it. It's got a real sort of spiciness to it that you could throw at tacos. You could throw it anything that you dip in. In terms of flavor, I think you could probably have this with anything from seafood through to, like, you could have it on tacos, or you could have it with Southeast Asian dishes again. But that's very interesting about these two sauces, these last two, is that they do sort of seem to cross the divide between Mexican and Southeast Asian foods. And that's really interesting in itself. So there you have it, folks. 3 more sauces by Hotter Than L. As usual, they're of an outstanding standard. Really good stuff going on in there. If I had to choose one that was my favourite out of the 3, I'd probably go with the 1901 roasted red ale hot sauce. It has a really good complexity to it. It's not too hot, so that you can actually use it on quite liberally on things. But at the same time, these other two are quite good too. This one here, the very hot one, the 6 out of 10, is probably the same sort of ballpark as what I would do with the roasted red ale one. And this one here is mild enough, like I said, to be a salad dressing. But across the board, really good stuff. And again, like I said, I seem to have gone from the lightest red to the darkest red in order. So yeah, that was something, a bit of happenstance there. So I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it, getting to know Dino Ferri from Hotter Than L. I'm sure we're going to see some more amazing stuff coming from Hotter Than L in the near future. And if you haven't already, go check him out, Hotter Than L. Fantastic stuff. Never had a bad sauce from him, and I've had quite a few of his sauces so far. So until next time, see you later.
Chilli in the name of